Hello! Oh my god, it's the background's still there. I've just got out of a meeting. There we go, let's get rid of the background. There we are. Brief glimpse of stuff there. Yes, I just got out of a meeting because meetings, and that was fun. So yeah, back after a week off because I was crunching on some important code. And thank you very much for the follow, .NET Geek. Hello, RustyF90210. So how's everybody doing? I'm discombobulated, which is a fantastic word. I love because yeah, I was in a meeting and I was like, I don't know what's going on with this meeting, and it didn't finish until 5 to 7, and then I was kind of like, I need a drink and stuff. Fortunately, my wife fed me while I was in the meeting, which was absolutely lovely of her. Thank you, Mrs. Rendell. And yeah, I wasn't here last week, but I'm back this week, and I'm hoping that things are going to work. Let's drag this down here and then do that. So we have got our Maui Blazor application here that does things. I'm going to put myself down small like that, and then I'm going to press F5 over here and get this running. Well, of course that's happened. The current .NET SDK, so this worked absolutely fine. Oh, I know what I've done. I've opened that in the wrong Visual Studio. It was supposed to be in Visual Studio Preview. So hopefully this will now work properly. So if I press F5, oh, when can I have Visual Studio 2022? I needs it. I needs it now. If you haven't been keeping up with the news that came out of Build and things like that, Visual Studio 2022 is going to be 64-bit. And the reason that's important is that 64-bit processes, so 32-bit processes, the largest address space you can have in a 32-bit process is 3 gigabytes. And then there's this sort of cheaty thing that you can do that lets you access an extra gigabyte. So you can access 4 gigabytes of RAM, which sounds like a lot. But I've got 64 gigabytes of RAM in this PC. And I want to be able to use all of it. And I want Visual Studio just to be able to load everything into memory and then go, right, let's do stuff. Instead of what it's doing at the moment, which is just really being very, very slow indeed. So let's refresh Overblaze, and then we do Perry, and yay, there we go, there's Perry, and then he goes away again. Awesome. Right, so if I go to add image, we've got this Twitch images, boom. So then that appears over there, and then what I want to be able to do is kind of move it around and stuff. And I've been trying to, oh, why has that appeared? Nope. But yes, I want to be able to move that around and go, okay, so that's going to appear in a specific place on the screen. So let's think about how we're going to do that, because we've got the CSS over here, and so in our CSS bit here we can say margin left 25%, and then that moves that over to there, and then we can say margin dash top 25%, and then that pushes it down there like that. But I can't really see where it is. What I want is the div that it is displayed in. I want that to have a different coloured background. So let's get rid of that overlay like that. And let's close everything down, close all tabs. There we go. And then in the Solution Explorer we can open up add image.razor. Oh, you're not happy, are you? That's ReSharper just going absolutely spare at this point. Right, so here we've got an image preview container. And we've got a div class equals col-8. And I'm going to go back to the old application, which I had somewhere. And see what I was doing in here. So here's the old application that just ran inside there like that. And then we can go to here. Let's pin you open for now. And then we can say add new item style sheet style sheet, there we go, and we're going to call it add image.razor.css, and then that gets nested here, and then we can copy this and we can paste it in there, and then we can say background color, and let's go with dark red like that, and then we'll see what that looks like. So come down here, add image, choose file, bum 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 bum, and that's not doing any good at all. So we've got the dev tools there, and we've got our elements, and we've got our app, and our page, and our main class, and our content, and our fluid container, and our row. Okay, so this is definitely what we want. Sources, CSS. That doesn't seem to have brought that style sheet in, does it? Is that just me being confused there? Because I should have some information here saying this, you look like this. But that doesn't appear to have come in there at all. So that's, we've got that there. And then that's an enormous chunk of stuff there doing that. But I'm not getting my CSS. And I don't know why. Do. Okay, well, let's, for the time being, we'll take those out of there. And we'll stick them in app.css instead. And we'll just get rid of that image.razor.css completely, and then we'll rerun this. There we go, add image, that's what we wanted, except that's huge now. So what CSS trickery can I use here? Main, content, container, row, collate, this fella here. So we got 90 vmin and 160 vmin. Let's change that to 9 vmin, 45 vmin, and 80. So that's doing that. Because it wants to be a 16:9 ratio. I mean, let's see what that does to start off with. So we can go bring that in there. Okay. So that's pretty good. So that width, like that, and then margin dash left centers it. Because I want to be able to position it nicely within its parent container. So let's go and do some CSS research. Position within div. Absolute positioning inside relative positioning. Okay. So if I come back in here and I put bottom colon 0 and do, there we go, that's stuck it to the bottom. Make that 60%. No, see, that's too big. 55%. 57.5%. Whoa! That's, I don't know what units that's using there. 56%. That's pretty much perfect. And so then that should be 22%, and that's centered it perfectly there. Which is kind of there. That sort of works. But if I put bottom as 0%, that still works. Okay. Because what I'm thinking is, can I put sliders in here, which would enable that, but more to the point. So we've got 4580. If I bring this up here, that doesn't actually get much bigger. I want to make this, how can I control the size of this div from Blazor? Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So it's not possible during initial pre-rendering. Invoke JavaScript functions. Dynamic content generation scenarios. For dynamic content generation, 6 preview there. Build render tree. Use the inject attribute. Render tree builder provides methods for manipulating components and elements. In render tree builder methods with a sequence numbers are source code line numbers. The Blazor difference algorithm relies on the sequence numbers corresponding to distinct lines of code, not distinct call invocations. When creating a component with do what now? Executing compile code, blah 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 blah. Generating, no, don't do that. Apparently, yeah, no, that looks scary. Let's not do that. So let's go back to here. And then so this div here, that container is just rubbish. Why is that container only that big? Why is page only that big? So I'm just going to bring this down here like this so you can see. So this is page and it's not filling up the full thing. So, and I don't know why. Display block. So app is doing that. HTML is doing that. So width 100 VW and height 100 VH. Right, there we go. And then app. We kind of want the same thing on there, don't we? So app is going to be width 100% and height 100%, like that. And then page width 100% and height 100%, like that as well. Okay, so that's looking good. So now my container fluid is stretched across the whole thing there, and that div thing there my image preview container like that. This is super weird. If I bring that up onto a bigger screen, it just does not work. Okay. CSS height as percentage of width. Can I set the height of a div based on a percentage based width? Maintain the aspect ratio of a div. Create a wrapper div with a percentage value for padding bottom. It will result in a div with height equal to 75% of the width of its container. Width of the viewport does that. So if I set that's 80% of the width of the viewport. That's V min. So that's with width set to 100%. Do. Three to do. Why is this working? So you can do that. I don't want that because I want it within the container thing. Aspect ratio. Is a completely transparent PNG file with the size of your preferred aspect ratio, in my case. Padding values as percentages. Hang on, let me turn the thing on. Try that oh high mark again, it should work now, because the thing is just running. Because yeah, Perry's working, so that's good. As stated here, and somewhere it specifies the padding in percent of the width of the containing element. Demo on JS Fiddle. So parent, child, that's doing that, that's doing that, that's... Okay, so... let's bring this in. Let's edit as HTML, and then we can put a div in there. Yikes. And a slash div in there like that. Now we say width 100%, like that. Oh, what are these vmin things that I was looking at? CSS, vmin, vmax. Okay, so if we say that this is container fluid and this is col 8, so that's 8/12 of the width of the browser window, so let's call it 7/12. So if we say width is going to be 100 vmin, no, let's say that's going to be 70 VW, 60 VW. Ah, there we go. And then height can be, where's my calculator? Hello, calculator. So then we're going to do 60 divided by 16 times 9. It's going to be 33.75 VW. 33.75 VW. That's pretty good. And then that, it's not resizing particularly. Yeah, web view's not working particularly well here, but I'm just going to stick with that. So 60 VW and 33.75 VW. Turn off the overlay. Back over to here. So 60 VW and 33.75 VW. So then that makes that right. So then what I want is what version of what version of CSS am I using in here? Bootstrap 4.3.1. Okay, cool. So Bootstrap 4.3.1. And content, components, forms, range input. Okay, input type equals range. We already did this on the add sound razor. So we had an input type equals range here. So let's grab that, and then in add image.razor, instead of the CSS, we're going to have a private float width like that. And min is going to be 0 and max is going to be 100. And I'm going to make this a property. So this is going to be public float width. And we'll have a private float underscore width here. And then we'll say get width set underscore width equals value. And underscore image style equals width colon percent, like that. And then let's knock this out like that. Choose file, boom. And let's set a breakpoint here. Oh, no, I need to up. So that's going to become width. That's going to be width. We'll make step 1. Like that. And let's see what this does. Add image, choose file, boom, width. Yeah, that seems to be working. Let's just stop that. And I'm just going to change this to 50 here like this. Add image, choose file, boom. That's good. I like that. And then we're going to have left. Right, so then they're going to say private float underscore left equals naught f and public float. Blazor does rock. Left get left set underscore left equals value. Like that. Pop that in there like that. And then grab this. Add image, choose file, boom. There we go. That's nice. I like that. And then sound can do a drop down thing there, and that should not be enabled. until this is set and this is set. So that's required. And then we can do another one again. Buttons, buttons, buttons. Switches. Buttons. Toggle state, checkbox and radio buttons. Okay. So, laser radio button. Input attributes equals additional attributes. What? Input radio T value. An input component used for selecting from a group of choices. No, that's not going to work because I need to do this. Can I do that? Selected value equals something. Bind value equals model.rating. Okay. So what we are going to do here is we're going to bring in data-toggle. Add a to enable their toggling. Right. So we've got to Div class equals btn dash group btn dash group dash toggle, and then we're going to have a label class equals btn dash secondary and then we're going to have an input type equals radio, no, we're not going to have an input radio. Input radio selected value equals width at bind dash value equals how is this working? Da 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 da. If size equals okay. Let's see what this does. Input radio must have an ancestor input radio group with a matching name property. Oh, good grief. Okay, so we can't do that. So radio buttons, value equals, checked equals, selected value dot equals value. Input type equals radio, value equals size, checked equals okay, so we're going to do and then we're going to do private void async task on size changed, change event args, and then we'll say underscore size equals args dot value dot to string. And then up here we can say at on change equals on size changed. Down here we can do this like this. Okay. Right, so we're nearly there. Let's go back to here, buttons. That seems to have the radio button showing in there though. Okay, so I mean, let's do that. At underscore width selected and at underscore height selected. Ah, there we go. So that's the toggles working now. So can I put this into a toggle thing. So I'm going to add a razor component, and I'm going to call it button switch. And I'm going to grab this and bring that in there like that. And then we're going to have public string value A public string value B get set, and then that's going to be value A, and that's going to be value B. Value B. And so then this is going to be a parameter, and so is this. And then we're going to have a public string selected value. B selected like this. Okay. current value as string, try pass value from string. So inherits input base t value. No, don't want that. Okay, so then in here we're going to have button switch value A equals width, value B equals height at bind dash selected value try that, see what that does. Attribute names could not be inferred from bind attribute bind dash selected value. Bind attributes. If I put a parameter on that, will that work? No. Okay, let's try inheriting that input base thing there. At inherits input base t value. At type param t value, like so. and then private void on change event args current value as string equals and then in here we can just say bind dash value like that. Okay, and then we can try pass value from string, and let's just go and grab this radio buttons. The attribute names could not be inferred from bind attribute bind dash value. Line 20. So there. So we don't like that. Okay, so label A equals width label B equals height cannot convert lambda expression to intended delegate type because some of the return types in the block are not implicitly convertible to the delegate return type. So take that out. Build. Nope, not happy. Oh, output. Error. Equals equals cannot be applied to operands of type string and t value. Ah, okay. Button switch dot razor. There we go. T value. Right. Error list. Output. Equals equals cannot be applied to operands of type t value and t value. Hi Crashlog, my talk recently at NDC. Cynical, angry people's humour? Me? Surely not. Which talk are we talking about? Was that the how to migrate from ASP.NET to ASP.NET Core, one page at a time? Button switch dash razor. On size changed. So you can go away there. Public bool Yes. Okay, I know what you mean. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. On change does not exist in the current context. There we go, on changed. Oh, how are we doing here? Right. So nothing happening there. Oh, it's because I took it out. So we can put that back in there like that. And I don't know why that's happening there like that now. Cannot convert lambda expression to intended delegate type. Right, let's inherit input base string. Error. Buttons switch, not all code paths return a value. Okay. Oh, are we nearly there yet? Button switch requires a value for the value expression parameter. Normally this is provided automatically when using bind value. So we say at bind dash Now you're going to complain about my bind dash value again, aren't you? No, you're not. So then we're going to drag this down here and we're going to go to add image, object reference not set to an instance of an object. Fine, I can cope with that because we can now change this to like that, and like that, and we should still be okay because that should get rid of that null reference exception. Try that. The attribute names could not be inferred from bind attribute bind dash value. Right, take it out. Errors, output. Error, the type or namespace t value could not be found. What happened there? How did you get done like that? Okay, so we got that. Yay! Okay. So like that, then. So then in here, we are going to say size equals width. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. And then we can have a private void set image style. And then we can say var size equals say set image style like so. Private string underscore left right equals left. Public string left right equals So then that does that. So there we go. Excellent. And then we can say, oh no, that needs to be changed. So that is going to become at label A and at label B, like so. Excellent. Do. Underscore left right. Yeah, that's what we wanted. So now all we need is a top bottom. So private string top bottom equals top and public string top bottom set image style. So that's going to become width, height. Like so. And then we're going to have size hpos and vpos. Size and then you're going to be hpos. hpos and underscore top bottom vpos percent like that. Size hpos and vpos. Add image, choose file, do that, bottom, left, like that, width, there we go. So now we've got a nice kind of sizing and positioning thing. So if I make that smaller, it sticks to the bottom, but if I click top, it goes, there we go. I like that. I'm quite happy. Right. That will do for today. Let's go back to the dashboard and let's just refresh this and then do this, and then we can go boom, and there it is. And we can go applause, and that was applause happening. A new, quieter applause that is nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Excellent. So that's gone really well. I'm super happy. Let's shut that down. So yeah, we have made that work quite well. Obviously what would be really, really super nice would be sizing handles and all this sort of stuff, but I have no idea how that would work with Blazor. That sounds really scary, so I'm not going to do it. I did have a look to see if I could find a JavaScript library for doing it, but I couldn't find. But yeah, so hi Crashlog. This is It's two Blazor applications. One of them is running inside a Maui app. So what you see... Dun, 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 ba, dun, dun. Right, so what you see here, this is a Blazor application and it's running inside a Maui WinUI desktop application in .NET 6. But then there's also a second Blazor application which I've got set up as a browser source in OBS, so that when I click things in here, they actually get overlaid on the video screen, and I've got this hooked up to my Stream Deck so I can do things with my buttons on Stream Deck as well. And so yeah, it's basically super fun. So what are we doing? Right, so next time on Thursday we'll finish this page off here. We'll sort it out so that the submit button throws an error if you haven't set a name. We're going to change sound to be a drop down so it'll show sounds that you've already uploaded, and that will do for that, I think. But yes, the other thing that you can do with it is you can write Perry into... That's not working at the moment. If I do connect with Twitch, so it's now hooked into the chat, and so you can do Perry in the chat, or you can do oh hi Mark,
hi, Mark.
and that appears in the chat as well. So yes, eventually this is going to be like a whole stream dashboard thing that will do all sorts of stuff without needing to use a cloud enabled service or anything like that. That's the plan anyway. So I might make it sort of able to do chat overlays on the screen and other things as well. It's just kind of a kicking off point at the moment. But yes, so what you've got in the code is so this is the Stream Badger application here with the Razor pages. So this is the Blazor application that's embedded in a Maui application, and then there's this completely separate one down here, Stream Badger Overlay, which actually runs on a TCP port on your local machine, and provides the overlays for Blazor. So yes, right everyone, that's a good couple of hours. I made things work. I've got my image ad page is looking pretty good, so we'll just finish that off quickly on Thursday when we start, and make sure that the form submit kind of validates and checks for errors and all that kind of thing, and then we can move on to the next thing. Going to redo the overlay to make the CSS work better on that, and make sure that the image sizes and everything are right on there, and yeah, start looking at other things that we can do with this application. Next week I'm thinking of doing some introduction to C# streams. If that's something you're interested in, then give me a follow on Twitter. Is it Twitter? Or is it social? There you go. So you can follow me there on Twitter. But yes, if anyone is interested in sort of starting from hello world and writing C# applications, I'm going to try and figure out a good time to do those. and actually teach people C# from the basics, from a console application, and kind of writing a couple of little things like grep and that sort of stuff. But these Tuesday and Thursday streams at 7 o'clock UK time will continue to be Stream Badger and Blazor and Maui and all that sort of good stuff. So don't worry about that. Nothing's changing there. Right, that's it. That's good enough for one evening. Thanks everyone very much for joining. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope I'll see you again in the future, Thursday, 7 o'clock UK time, 6 o'clock UTC, or whenever you can next make it. It's always nice to have you here, and I will see you next time. Cheers, thanks very much. Night.